All right, you're still very much with us on Sports Extra right here, hitting you live from Africa Independent Television. Of course, we are moving on. All right, time now to actually talk boxing, the big fight, Deontay Wilder, and then of course Tyson Fury. It happened over the weekend in the United States of America, and the man Tyson Fury actually showed why he is really up there as the best heavyweight boxer at the moment, because he keeps on winning his fights even when you think he would lose. 3 times he has come up against Deontay Wilder, and 3 times he has escaped defeat, winning twice, and the first one ended in a controversial draw. But the latest fight ended in a win. And of course, there was a defeat for a Nigerian boxer who has never lost in the professional since he turned professional. Ajagba had not lost, but he lost to Sanchez of Cuba in that one. And joining us now to talk about this, we have a man from London, a man who is right now in London, a British-born Nigerian boxing promoter. He is Prince Stanley Williams. It's good to see you, Prince Williams, joining us to talk boxing again. Always a pleasure to have you. Well, you saw the fight, Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury making it again. You want to start by telling us how you saw that, and did you see it coming, another win for the man Tyson Fury?
That's correct. That's correct. Everybody expected something different from Wilder. We all enjoyed the fight. The fight was very exciting. It was thrilling, and bringing back the heavyweight division back to where it belongs. For many years, it's not been like this. There's been so much competition between both him and Fury and Anthony Joshua, and now Tyson Fury, who came back in the midst a few years ago. This particular fight, I've always said that I've seen Tyson Fury as the best pure boxer in the heavyweight division at the moment. And however, Deontay Wilder gave him a very good fight. He showed the heart of a warrior. He kept on pressing, and I think he tired him out. I believe if he had followed the game plan that him and his coach, the new coach, Mali Scott, if he followed that game plan up until the mid rounds, I believe there would have been a slightly different result, because Fury didn't come in very prepared. He came in overweight, and that clearly shows that he would like to impose his body on you and get very physical, And I don't think Wilder caught on to that. I think once he landed some good punches on the round 4 that knocked down Tyson Fury, it made him reset and go back to the normal way he used to fight, believing in head hunting, and felt he could knock out Fury. And it ended up going on the other way around. So we have to give credit to Fury for the fight, and fighting like a champion that he is.
All right, now let's come down to Nigeria's interest. Of course, Nigeria's interest was very much there in the undercards. If Ajagba against Sanchez from Cuba, and in the end, the Nigerian boxer who has never lost a professional bout in the heavyweight class ended up the loser, even though it was a battle of the 2 titans who have never lost, actually. But it was the Nigerian boxer, Efe Ajagba, who lost. What do you think happened there, and why do you think Efe Ajagba lost that fight?
Very correct. Ajagba is a very, very good boxer. He's got the prospects, and there's just a lot of things that has to change in his game. And coming up in the heavyweight division now, he's now facing people. These are the gatekeepers for him to get to fight the cream of the crop. So before you start getting to the top 5, the top 10 and all this, these are the guys he has to put out of business. He's had similar mistakes in 2019 when he fought Lago Kilaze, a chap that he should have put away easily. But that was a very difficult fight. In fact, the guy knocked him down. So there are certain things people in his camp should be doing by now. They have to make sure that they eliminate this, this slack that they've got in their game. And I noticed that he's having a problem with fighters with fast hands that are too mobile and in the ring and all that. So they're just little things. He's got the punching power. He's got a decent jab. and he's physically strong himself. But there has to be a more fluid boxing. There has to be a much more better movement, not just being flat-footed. These are areas where I think Ajagba really needs to work on. And when you have a very good, when you have a good coach, you have something going on with that coach, and it's working for you guys. You guys have got an ingredient for success. When it gets to another level where you know you have to step it up, then you invite maybe one or two technical people that can actually add to your game. So I believe Ajagba can do very well in the heavyweight division, and he just needs to correct the mistakes he's made in the previous fights. He's had some very tough challenges in the previous contest. And Frank Sanchez is someone that is undefeated. He's a Cuban boxer. He's very fluid. He moves very well. He's swift. So he's a fighter that, is like almost like an ambush fighter. He hits you and runs around and times you to make a mistake. He counter punches you and all that. He's too quick. So these are things that fighters should be looking at. It's not only just you being strong physically, because boxing is something that has to do with you thinking, adjusting by rounds. It's not doing the same thing by each round. So I think Ajagba is not far away from fighting someone in the top 5. But he has to beat one of these gatekeepers, because Frank Sanchez is someone that he can beat, but he has to come up with an A game. Now he has to go back to the drawing board, pick up himself, and him and his team, they make the right adjustments. Watch the tapes of these fighters, because I've had some boxers in the past say they don't watch their opponents. That doesn't make no sense. You and your trainer should watch your opponent, know where you should pick up on. There are little things that the person might be doing that can hurt you all night and make you look like you're an amateur. So these are the areas where I think Ajagba should look at with his team, and he's still got some time now in front of him so that he can make those adjustments, and he can land himself in the top 10.
All right, the next question to you, Prince Williams, will be, can Ajagba bounce back and get to the level that we have seen him show so much of promise? Can he bounce back from this defeat by Sanchez?
Well, there's a lot to be done. He just needs to go back to the drawing board, get himself together. The heavyweight division is highly competitive right now. There's so many elite boxers competing in the top 20. Let alone you talk about the top 10, talk of the top 5. So I believe he's got a good team as well. So Ajagba should now be thinking of fighting, somebody that he can actually use to build at the moment. And there are so many fighters out there. And instead of fighting even Frank Sanchez, I was expecting that a fight with somebody like Ruiz. I believe he can do it because Ruiz also is trying to build and come back. You have people also out there, or you can even fight Derek Chisora, who is in England, because he's fighting out of America right now. That's Ajagba. He fights someone across the pond. That would also make a lot of sense. There are also other fighters in America as well. You've got Chris Arreola. There are fighters you can work with. We see what you can do, and these fighters are fighters. If you can beat them, then we know that you belong to the elite class. And they say styles make fights. That was why in my previous prediction, I was telling you that AJ would do well in Fury's fight, because of the style is very different. Just like you have Muhammad Ali, he was able to beat Judge Foreman when everybody wrote him off. Meanwhile, Ali had lost to someone like Fraser, and Fraser had lost to Foreman. And Foreman comes up to fight Ali, and Ali beats Foreman, even stopping him. So someone that had a better punching power and everything than him, and he won. So I think if Ajagba will have people that stylistically that can fit into his own style of fight, so that wouldn't pose him a lot of problems, then he can now fight more competitive fighters. There's also, I mentioned Chris Arreola. There are other guys out there, Robert Helenius, who's also a tall heavyweight fighter who's done well just recently, and who I believe if Ajagba can do very well against him. So if Ajagba he's got the strength, he's got the motivation, he's got that. He just needs to add these little things that are missing in his tool, so in his toolbox. So I believe that he can do well going forward, but the team needs to integrate new things in their game plans.
All right, quite interesting. Well, we want to let you go, but not before we have asked you what is happening, what is up next for boxing to see as far as what is coming from your stable, Monarch Promotions, in terms of what to look forward to. We do know that you have a lot of boxers, Nigerian boxers and international boxers as well. What's on the cards?
Yes, we have a great plan, for the future. We're just shaking off the COVID. We have a lot of things going on. We've been working a lot behind the scenes. The team of Monarch is quite huge. It's not just, it doesn't comprise of just myself. We have people from England, from America, from Germany, and from Nigeria, of course. So we have an event that is going on end of this month in Germany. For some of our fighters, the ones in Europe here to keep busy. Of course, we have fighters from Kazakhstan, like from England, from America, and of course from Africa. And recently we've added new young Nigerian boxers, and also in Ghana, also some Ghanaian boxers to our roster. So they are also very good fighters. You'll be proud of the young fighters that we've added on to our stable. And of course, we still have King Davison. We have the other fighters who you're already familiar with, and they'll be fighting very soon. And they will all fight in December. We have something coming up in the African continent, and which we're working on as well, and it's almost ready. But we have a bigger plan for boxing, because I wouldn't leave boxing without making a great impact. I love the sport, and everything we do with precision and quality. And we have a game plan that will, change a lot of things and create a permanent platform for boxers in Africa and across the globe. And something that will be, I won't let the cat out of the bag at the moment. When the coming months, you will find out we're working for over a year plus now on that, and that will be made known. But in terms of boxing promotions that are coming up, we have the big one coming up in December. Then in a few months' time, which will be early next year, we have in 2022 we'll have a constant event coming up both in Nigeria and across the world. So you look out for that. And also, anyone that wants to keep up with us, they can check out Monarch Champions to know what is going on and our new plans.
All right, thank you very much. We want to say a very big thank you to you for always honoring our invitation to talk boxing with us right here on Sports Extra on Africa Independent Television. Thank you very much for your time, Prince Stanley of Williams.
Yes, thank you for having me, Ed. Thank you to you and AIT. And for all what you do for boxing. We really appreciate you guys. Thank you.
All right, we appreciate. Thank you very much. And that was Prince Stanley Williams of Monarch Events and Promotion, an international promoter, international figure in boxing promotions around the world. And of course, he's been talking about the big fights and then how it concerns Nigerians and how to develop the sport right here. All right, we are moving on now and talking about athletics. Yes, an athlete, an Olympic gold medalist found dead in Kenya is something that really happened, and it is really sad to see that and hear that, as a matter of fact. But we're moving away from that and talking about China. China and their human rights record. The human rights record of that country has meant that a lot of people believe that China should not be given the rights to host any competition. But again, the International Olympic Committee, IOC, has said that they would not be in position to deny China any opportunity to host an event just simply because some people think they have a dodgy human rights records. Let's hear from the IOC on as far as that is concerned.